And it's time for all good citizens to be comfy and cozy and safe behind their doors. It's certainly not safe outside. Are you ready for another wonderful bedtime story? Well, dear people, the sun is slipping down the horizon. It's time for everyone to head home. Don't forget, the fog comes at night, and you know who's in it. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's getting late. Oh, and I can't stop yawning. Time to head home, my dears, and go to bed. You don't want to be outside in the dark. That's where Foggy Jack hides. I hope you're all home and in bed now. It's very dangerous to be out in the fog. Foggy Jack will take it personally. No, I'm sure you're all at home and ready for a bedtime story. Well, it's night, and a fog is rolling in from the river. You're all safely in bed, aren't you? Oh, of course you are. Unless you're Foggy Jack, that is. Don't worry, I know you're not Foggy Jack. Well, this is a special message for Foggy Jack. Is anyone still out in the streets who's not a bobby? There isn't? Oh, good. Well, you know what to do if there is. And for the rest of you, safely in your beds, I've got a lovely bedtime story I'd like to tell you. My dear friends, it's getting late. I hope you're all heading home and ready to go to bed. I've got a lovely bedtime story to read to you. And I'm afraid we have come to the end of our time. I hope you're all in bed as the fog rolls in from the river. You don't want to be out in it, do you? And that's the end to another happy day in Wellington Wells. I hope you're safely home and in bed. It's scary out there at night. And fatal. No, I'm sure you're all in bed. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story? Well, my friends, night will be falling soon, and you don't want to be out at night, do you? Time to go home and get all tucked up in bed. Oh, well, I'm ready for bed. How about you? I hope you're safely under the covers. You really don't want to be out at night, do you? Well, the sun seems to be going down, so it's time for all good citizens to go home and go to bed. You don't want to be out at night, do you? Oh, look at the time. Yes, it's time to head home and go to bed. It's been a lovely day, and I can promise tomorrow will be even lovelier. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. For today, anyway. I hope you're all wrapping up and heading home. The sooner you're asleep, the sooner tomorrow will start. Well, I hope you're indoors by now. The fog is rolling in and you know who's in it. No, I'm sure you're all safely in bed and ready for a bedtime story, aren't you? Golly, have we come to the end of our time? Of course we have. For today. The fog is rolling in and you know who is roaming about, but you're safely behind windows and doors. Well, it's that time of day when it starts to turn to night. It's time to close up the shops and head home. You don't want to be out on Foggy Jack's afoot, do you? And I'm afraid we've come to the end of today. Yeah, the sun is going down and it's time for all good wellies to head home.